Recently, at an event honoring the active duty and prior military service of current Ohio Department of Public Safety employees, the life and service of Reverend Dr. Richard Ellsworth, the Ohio State Highway Patrol chaplain, was highlighted. In addition to serving as patrol chaplain for 25 years, he raised 4 daughters and 1 son with his wife Linda before she passed away after 65 years of marriage. He received his Master of Divinity degree from the Evangelical Lutheran Seminary at Capital University, now known as Trinity Seminary, and was the pastor of the Central College Presbyterian Church, where he grew the congregation from 250 members to nearly 2,700 members. His devotion to faith and charity touched many throughout his career. He served as the president of 7 boards and organizations in Ohio, Kentucky, and the U.S., as well as serving as the chaplain at Ground Zero, New York, through the International Council of Police Chaplains. He is actively involved in a mission outreach to Honduras, having made 12 trips with construction and medical teams. Reverend Richard Ellsworth's public service began when he enlisted in the U.S. Army on his 18th birthday. In 1945, with the 86th Infantry Division fighting Blackhawks, he crossed the Rhine River and engaged the last of the German holdouts in the area where the finest panzer crews were trained in the infamous Krupp armor. This was considered by many to be the final nail in the German war machine. After being discharged in 1946, he returned to Case Institute of Technology and graduated with a degree in mechanical engineering before beginning his seminary studies. Before being appointed state chaplain for the Ohio State Highway Patrol in May of 1991, he served as chaplain for the Division of Police and Fire in the city of Columbus. At age 90, he continues to outpace most of us. He has lived what he has preached, service above self. While his accomplishments could make one feel inadequate, instead, it should inspire and motivate you. Likewise, what we have achieved collectively is inspirational and motivating for what we can achieve in the future. The Ohio Department of Public Safety touches millions of Ohioans with a core mission centered on the principles of safety, service, and protection. This past year has been marked by numerous investments in safety to protect Ohioans and to protect our own employees. We ask each of you the question, what will you do today to contribute to a safer Ohio? It is a challenging question, a personal responsibility question, and an empowering question. The individual answer to that question also defines the partnership we have with the citizens of Ohio who join us in creating a truly safer and better Ohio, nation, and world. In the last few years, we have made significant progress toward a safer Ohio, but safety is the clearest priority when it becomes personal. When safety becomes personal, statewide statistics are not important. When it's personal, you win with one life at a time. All our efforts have been revolved around connecting to the public we serve and empowering Ohio's nearly 12 million residents, while also measuring our success with lives saved each day, while also working to improve their quality of life. Since 2011, Ohio troopers have interdicted nearly $180 million in drugs and contraband, with a correlated 80% increase in drug arrests. In 2014 alone, patrol officers made 11,169 drug arrests, which was a 62% increase from the previous 5-year average, and it marked another consecutive year of increase. That trend continued in 2015, with drug arrests up another 9% from the same time last year. Fundamentally, we were able to accomplish this by elevating criminal patrol to the same mission level as highway safety, fostering broad interagency partnerships, and using shared information from our partners and the public. We are approaching nearly 6,000 requests for intel this year through the Patrol's Hub. By the end of the year, we expect these intel requests will equate to more than 30% of an increase compared to 2014. We know we have disrupted the drug supply line to and through Ohio, but progress is not victory. For those old enough to remember the heroin scourge in the 1960s and 70s, we know we will ultimately overcome this epidemic by reducing demand. Through the SHIELD program, Start Talking, 5 Minutes for Life, and public participation by using the pound 677 number, we have empowered Ohioans to contribute to a reduced demand. As part of Governor Kasich's Safer Schools Ohio initiative, we are focused on the highest priority of protecting Ohio's children and young adults. Ohio Homeland Security and the Ohio Department of Education launched the 844 Safer OH tip line in December of 2014 that accepts both calls and text messages 24 hours a day to allow students and adults to anonymously share information with school officials and law enforcement about threats to student safety, whether that involves a threatened mass incident or harm to a single student. The tip line is available free of charge to every school district and school in Ohio. The division also printed thousands of posters and handouts informing students of all ages about the tip line and how to use it. All schools are encouraged to sign up at saferschools.ohio.gov. So far, nearly 1,500 schools have signed up to use this service. The tip line is answered by Ohio Homeland Security's Threat Assessment and Prevention Unit, also known as the TAP unit, and when action is needed, the TAP unit immediately forwards information to local school officials, law enforcement agencies, and authorities who play integral roles in keeping schools safe. The TAP unit analysts, trained by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and U.S. Secret Service threat experts, follow up quickly with the affected school and law enforcement agencies to make sure that the incident is investigated, action is taken, and the outcome is tracked. The tip line has received nearly 100 calls since its inception. Ohio Homeland Security's Infrastructure Protection Unit operates an assistance line for schools and continually works directly with school districts to aid in developing high-quality emergency management safety plans, which includes mandatory training and exercises. The Infrastructure Protection Unit also reviews and evaluates these plans to provide guidance to school administrators and officials on how to further develop and improve their plans to ensure best safety practices are implemented. The TAP unit analysts also assist schools with threat analysis, mitigation, and closes information reporting gaps. Ohio Homeland Security continues a working relationship with the FBI, U.S. Department of Homeland Security, the Ohio Department of Education, local law enforcement, and first responders to gather, share, and analyze information in an effort to further protect our children. If you see something, say something by contacting local law enforcement or by dialing pound 677. When a disaster strikes, our two main goals are to deliver the best support to Ohio citizens during the recovery and to return the business sector to normal operations as quickly as possible. We cannot do this alone. It takes the cooperation and resources of everyone to bring life back to normal in the aftermath of a catastrophe. The 472 Project, in coordination with state, county, local, and private sector partners, allows us to move essential resources within 4 hours of an incident and sustain that effort for 72 hours, which is the threshold of time before which federal assets are available in most emergencies. I encourage you to visit ready.ohio.gov to learn how you can prepare to help your family and neighbors. The Ohio Public-Private Partnership, known as OP3, encourages open sharing of information vital to assist members in returning to normal operations in the wake of a disaster. This is achieved by building on collaborative skills, knowledge, and abilities of private partners, leveraging existing supply chains to ease the effects of disasters, sharing critical information with the membership, and providing situational awareness of imminent threats. We now have more than 230 members in this partnership. Earlier this year, we announced the effort to build an emergency partner credentialing system. That system is nearly completed and will allow the public and private sector partners to cooperate with each other like never before. Emergency partner credentials will give private sector partners the empowerment to do what they do best when emergencies hit Ohio communities. While other states use credentialing systems, Unlike those programs, Ohio's will be available at no cost to OP3 members, and credentials will be verifiable by law enforcement through the Law Enforcement Automated Data System on scene at an incident. With credentials provided and vetted through Ohio Homeland Security, OP3 member organizations will be able to cross emergency lines and to deliver stockpile supplies and medication for people who are not able to get their own. Ohio remains determined to improve community police relations and find solutions to the tensions and concerns that divide too many neighborhoods and the law enforcement officers who serve them. In December of 2014, Governor John Kasich signed an executive order announcing the Ohio Task Force on Community Police Relations after a series of incidents in Ohio and around the nation that highlighted the challenging situations that exist in too many places between communities and law enforcement. On April the 29th of 2015, after a series of public forums, the task force delivered to the governor a consensus final report from all 24 members. Governor Kasich immediately signed another executive order establishing the Ohio Collaborative Community Police Advisory Board to oversee the implementation of the recommendations from the task force. The Ohio Collaborative, which is a 12-person diverse panel, established state standards for the first time in Ohio's history on August the 28th of 2015 for use of force, including use of deadly force, and agency employee recruitment and hiring that can help guide law enforcement agencies in Ohio. At their core, the new standards include the fundamental policy statement: the preservation of human life is of the highest value in the state of Ohio. In the upcoming year, the Collaborative will be working closely with our partners, including the community and law enforcement agencies, to implement these new standards. The community shares the responsibility to engage and participate in the overall effort and goal of a just, safer, and more cohesive community being served. A report will be published by March 31st of 2017, listing all those agencies which have adopted and fully implemented the new state minimum standards. By using hashtag BeHeardOhio, anyone can share comments as we move forward to create a model that ensures Ohio leads the nation in effective and collaborative community police relations. We have every reason to be optimistic. What you have accomplished collectively is extraordinary. Ohio is safer because of you. Likewise, our commitment to your safety in carrying out your mission is without waiver. Our mission and your safety is personal. And as you know, safety, for those you care about, takes on additional meaning when it's personal. Thank you for your work and commitment to answering the question that you may have heard before: what will you do today to contribute to a safer Ohio?